Good evening, Portland. My name is Renee Mitchell. I'm a columnist for the Oregonian. Just got back from a trip in New York where there were 21 women of the 21st century, and they were receiving awards for the things that they do to empower women. And it was such an inspiring event that I wanted to bring back some of that energy to share with you tonight. And so I sat down to write a poem, and I got writer's block. You know how the words will tease you at the margins and peek around from around the corners, and they were daring me to capture their essence and pattern their phrases into some logical format that would take you by surprise and be everything that you had hoped that they would be, but the words would not come. And so I sat down and I listened really hard, and I thought I heard the moaning from a distance of Harriet Tubman and Ida B. Wells and Sojourner Truth. Those rebellious words were mocking them and chiding them, telling them to give up, to give in, to allow themselves to be detoured from their destinies. And just imagine what would have happened if they had listened to those words. If they were just being burdened by the oppression, the threat of their lives, and just plain tired of fighting the good fight. Imagine if the Underground Railroad had stopped at the next station. If they hadn't pressed on until a change of minds had come. How could I not find inspiration in their example? And I am not Harriet. I am not Ida. I am not Sojourner. I do not have to face what they faced. How could I not press on? Neither am I Soad of the West Bank, who survived an attempt to burn her alive because she made the mistake of getting pregnant at age 17. It was an honor killing, minus the honor, minus the killing, even of her spirit. I am not an Arabian woman who has no rights to education or individual will, separate from her overbearing husband who will gladly beat her until her spirit is broken and her internal fire is extinguished. I am not any of these women. How could I not press on? I did not lose family members who happened to be born Israeli. I did not have to bury my only son because he happened to be born Palestinian. I am not one of those mothers of Rwanda of yesteryear or Sudan of today who are raising children who have seen nothing and heard nothing and witnessed nothing but war and violence and raping of young innocents. I do not live in a country where the rebel army has snatched the children from their mothers' breasts and destroyed the schools and planted their seeds into the bellies of 12 and 13-year-old girls. I am not one of those Indian women yanked from a village in Nepal and forced to work in brothels where 80% of the young girls contract HIV and AIDS. I did not, under threat of my life, give an eloquent speech in Afghanistan to speak out against a proposal to appoint war criminals to that country's new and improved government. And even when they threatened Malala Joya, called her a whore, an infidel, abused her, intimidated her, she still refused to apologize. If I were to be killed for what I believe in, she said, then let my blood be a beacon for emancipation and my words a revolutionary paradigm for generations to come. I am not Malala Joya, and so I had to press on and find the words that had eluded me and gather them up and shake them silly until they made some sense. I had to press on. And so I am here asking you and begging you and pleading with you to listen. Listen. Listen to the voices of determined women, of suffering women, of oppressed women all over the world who are living through the worst of circumstances and yet are still finding a way to muster their courage and go and seek out that ray of hope and make a difference in the lives of women just like you, so that you too might be inspired to become X and become Y and become Z. These women should remind you that your lives hold greater promise and greater potential than where you are right at this moment. So listen, listen, listen to these inspired possibilities of change. Listen Listen, listen to the women peering down from you, from the pictures on both sides of this room. Listen, listen, listen to me. I have found my words and I have something to say. Listen to my poem.